My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review for Black Phone 2. Not the Black Phone 2, but Black Phone 2. And this is a sequel to the Black Phone. Not Black Phone, but the Black Phone. Okay, what are we doing here? If you have a the in the first movie's title, then you should have a the in the second movie's title. But anyways, I remember back in 2022, everybody loved the Black Phone. Everybody was talking about how incredible of a movie it is. And okay, so I went in with sky high expectations, and I thought it was fine. I did like it, but it was definitely overhyped. So when they announced a sequel, I really couldn't have cared less. But then I heard it was going to have a winter aesthetic and that it was going to have a Nightmare on Elm Street type of plot. And just like that, I was in. I actually started to get very excited for this movie, and thankfully it lived up to my expectations. And as much as I do like the first movie, this one is a huge improvement. So let's begin by talking about the cast. And Madeline McGraw is the lead this time. And I thought she was really great. She brings lots of personality to this character. She carries the movie incredibly well. But there are moments where she is just screaming and she's freaked out. And oh my, she brings so much emotional weight to certain moments, and she just fully delivered here. Mason Thames also does a really good job. I thought he was convincing as his character, and I really like how he has progressed since the first movie. It felt true. Then we've got Miguel Moore, who was fine. I don't really know if this character was needed. The romance feels a little tacked on, but he's not bad. Ethan Hawke, I will say this. He's in the movie way less than I was expecting, but I found him to be infinitely more scarier in this movie. I actually found him to be a little goofy in the first movie, but here, oh my, whenever he shows up, he gets under my skin, and he just was terrifying at points. So he really stands out. Damien Bichir does a pretty good job as well. He could have felt like a forgettable side character, but he really does elevate this guy in every sense. And Jeremy Davies does a pretty decent job as well, even though he's not in this movie too much. So the cast really does deliver. But the real star of this movie is Scott Derrickson. And I have Scott Derrickson is an interesting director because he made The Exorcism of Emily Rose, a movie I find to be just alright. He directed the remake of The Day the Earth Stood Still, and I haven't seen that movie in a very long time, but I don't remember liking it. He directed Sinister, a movie I loved. He then directed Deliver Us from Evil, a movie I hated. He directed Doctor Strange, a movie I love. He then directed... Was The Black Phone the next one? Yeah, I guess so. Am I missing one? Anyways, he also directed a segment in VHS 85, which I didn't really care for. He then directed The Gorge, which I just rewatched, and I still love that movie. Wow, he's on a roll this year, and now he delivers with this movie. I really do believe he's starting to find his stride as a filmmaker, and I love how this feels like a Scott Derrickson movie. He brings that Super 8 grainy footage here, and the way it's used is just pure perfection. Like, all the dream sequences in this movie are just some of my favorite bits of filmmaking from 2025. They look and sound incredible, and feel legitimately terrifying at times, and I found them to be really effective. I also do love the sound here, and I love the winter aesthetic of this movie. Like, holy shit, it just feels like winter. Um, I don't know if I can think of another winter movie that looks as good as this one does. Like The Hateful Eight, Terrifier 3. I don't know, I'm sure there's others, but man, I just loved the look and sound and feel, and just the atmosphere of this movie is so terrific, and I really love how gnarly it can be at points. I love how almost every time you see the Grabble, he looks more and more fucked up, and the practical effects here are just terrific. There's not many, but when they show up, ooh, do they land. So, yeah, I also do like the music by Atticus Derrickson, who I assume is related to the director somehow, but the music really did add to the experience, and the story has some solid emotion. I have really come to care for these characters, and especially the note the movie ends on, it surprisingly got to me at points. And yeah, and there's also some great character work. But it's time to talk about the rest of the script, because that's kinda where I have my issues. This movie is an hour and 54 minutes long. I feel like it could have been trimmed down by 10, maybe 15 minutes, make for a tighter, more effective watch. And the main plot of this movie, it kind of just feels made up on the spot. Like they didn't know what direction to go in for a sequel. So they just kind of, well, what if we did this, and then they have to do this, and I don't know. I feel like the movie could have been better constructed on a script level, but honestly, like, I can see myself rewatching this movie so many times because of everything else I love. You know, everybody's comparing this movie to Nightmare on Elm Street, and rightfully so, but at times it also reminded me of Insidious, and there's something at the end of the movie that kind of reminded me of Coraline. So if you know me, Nightmare on Elm Street, Insidious, Coraline, like that's just a recipe for a movie Gavin's going to love. I do love so much of this movie. It just looks and feels and sounds terrific. The winter aesthetic is pure perfection. The dream sequences are just incredible. There's moments of pure terror. It's well acted, some great character beats. I'm not going to say it's a home run. It's not perfect. Script could have been improved, but I still can't recommend this movie enough. So I'm giving Blackthorn 2 an 8 out of 10. I have seen more criticisms for this movie, and I'm going to say this. I like the fact that this movie offers a completely different experience than the first movie. And to double down on that, I like the fact that Megan 2.0 offered a completely different experience than Megan. I think that's a good thing. I think Blumhouse is making the right decisions, and it's a shame they're getting shit on for it, because, yeah, I feel like this is the way to do a franchise. But Blackthorn 2, what did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin out.